The sun rose slowly over the endless dunes, casting a golden glow across the quiet village of Al-Humra. It was the early 1990s, a time when life in the desert still followed the rhythm of the wind, the camels, and the call to prayer echoing across the sand. In this small village lived a farmer named Hassan. He wasn't wealthy, and he didn't own much land, just a modest date palm grove at the edge of the settlement, where the sand met a patch of stubborn, life-giving soil. But Hassan was known for something more valuable than wealth: patience. Every morning before the sun grew harsh, Hassan would walk to his grove with a small leather bag slung over his shoulder. Inside were simple tools, nothing modern, nothing fancy, just what he needed to care for his trees, which he treated like family. Water was scarce. The village relied on an old well, and sometimes the water level dropped so low that arguments would break out among the villagers. But Hassan never argued. He would wait his turn, even if it meant returning home with less water than he needed. His neighbors often told him, "Hassan, you must be quicker or you will lose everything." But he would smile and reply, "The desert teaches us that rushing only leads to mistakes." One year, the rains didn't come. The sky remained empty, a pale, endless blue with no promise of relief. Weeks turned into months, and the heat grew more unforgiving. The ground cracked, and many farmers began to lose hope. One by one, people started abandoning their fields. Some left for the city, chasing rumors of better lives, electricity, and steady work. Others sold their animals just to survive. But Hassan stayed. Every morning, he still walked to his grove, even as his water supply dwindled. He began using less water for himself, saving most of it for his trees. He dug deeper channels in the soil to trap whatever moisture remained. He even collected dew at dawn using cloth, squeezing the precious drops into small containers. The villagers began to whisper, "He is wasting his time," some said. "He is too stubborn," others claimed. But Hassan didn't listen. To him, the trees were not just crops, they were his responsibility. One afternoon, a young boy named Sammy approached Hassan as he worked under the shade of a struggling palm. "Why do you keep trying? Everyone says the trees will die." Hassan wiped the sweat from his forehead and looked at the boy. "Do you see this tree?" he said, placing his hand on the rough trunk. "Its roots go deep, deeper than we can see. Even when the surface is dry, there is life hidden below." Sammy frowned. "But what if the water never comes?" Hassan smiled gently. "Then we learn how strong we truly are." As the drought continued, Hassan's grove became one of the few still standing, though barely. The leaves were thin, the dates small and scarce, but they were alive. Then, one evening, something changed. The wind shifted. Dark clouds gathered on the horizon, something the village hadn't seen in months. At first, no one believed it. The sky had teased them before. But this time, the clouds grew heavier, darker, until the first drop of rain fell on the hot sand. And then it poured. The rain came down in sheets, soaking the earth, filling the wells, and bringing life back to the desert. The villagers rushed outside, laughing and crying, letting the rain wash over them. Hassan stood silently in his grove, watching as the waters seeped into the soil he had worked so hard to protect. Days later, the transformation began. Green shoots appeared, the palm leaves thickened, and Hassan's grove, once on the brink of death, became the healthiest in the village. The other farmers returned, surprised to see his success. "How did your trees survive?" they asked. Hassan simply said, "I never stopped caring for them." Word spread beyond the village. Traders passing through began to notice the quality of Hassan's dates, sweet, rich, and unlike any others. Soon, his small grove became the heart of the village's recovery. Even those who once doubted him came to seek his advice, and Hassan never refused. Years later, when people spoke of that great drought of the 1990s, they didn't just remember the hardship. They remembered the farmer who stayed when others left, who believed when others gave up. They remembered Hassan, the man who trusted the unseen roots beneath the sand.
If you do your struggle in your life, you will change everything. Like Hassan have changed his village life. He just keep patient, waiting for the rain, and as the rain came back, his all dad's fruits grown up again and get a greenish village again in the middle of the desert. So these stories give us a fruitful lesson that we should be focused and be patient for every situation that we have. Thank you so much.